0 pitch. High fly ball. Left field. Arozarena watches it go. Rivas starting the ninth. And he's down on strikes. 2-2 pitch. Targeted in the ninth. Payoff. He has struck him out. And for the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays have won the pennant.
I'm going to be honest, I couldn't hear any of that, so I don't know.
Oh, really? You know what? I'm just going to cut that out then. Or maybe I'll leave that in. I don't know. But I was trying to play some of the sounds from the Blue Jays winning Game 7 of the American League Championship Series last night. If I may, I would like to start talking about the Blue Jays because really I could go for at least an hour talking about this team, but I'm honestly just such in shock. I'm speechless. It's been such a magical season. The fact they won the division after nobody... I said this talking in previous podcasts about the Blue Jays. I think even the most optimistic Blue Jays fans would be like, maybe they make the wild card and then sneak into the division series, and best case scenario, absolute best case scenario, you get to a championship series. And as the season went along, the expectations just started going up. They were able to just win the division on a tiebreaker against the Yankees, and then they go on and beat the Yankees in the division series. Then they go on to the American League Championship Series, play the Seattle Mariners, who beat them in the wild card series back in 2022, including coming back from 8-1 down to win that series. And the Toronto Blue Jays, they are the comeback kings. They had the most comeback wins in baseball. They went down 2-0 in the series against the Mariners on home field as well. They lost the first two games at home. And if I'm being honest, I didn't think they were going to come back and win that series. The best case scenario, I was hoping, okay, let's get it back to Toronto for game 6 and 7, LOL 6 and 7. Bottom of the first inning of game 3, Julio Rodriguez hits a 2-run home run. I'm just like, fuck, that might be curtains. I mean, I don't want to doubt my team because they've come back all year, but man, you want to be realistic as well. But they came back, won that game 113-4. Then game 4, Max Scherzer, who hadn't pitched in almost a month, and one of his last starts he didn't even get out of the first inning, and he led up 7 earned runs. So I wasn't feeling great about that, but he was able to go almost 6 innings. He went 5 2/3, including saying fuck you to John Schneider, the manager, and things are looking good. They tied the series. Game 5, they were up 2-1 going into the 8th inning, but then they put in Brendan Little, who has not been good, immediately gives up a home run to Big Dumper. It's tied. Then they load the bases, nobody out, and then Eugenio Suarez hits a grand slam. They win 6-2, and Blue Jays are down 3-2 going back to Toronto. Game 6, Trey Savage, who started the season in low A ball, comes in 5 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and they win that game 6-2. And then game 7, they're down 3-1. Julio Rodriguez hits a home run to make it 2-1. Cal Raleigh hits a home run to make it 3-1. And that would be the last time the Mariners got a hit, was that Raleigh home run. Going into the bottom of the 7th, the Mariners only had 8 outs to go to close it out. They were up 3-1. George Springer, who got hit in the knee with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, comes in and puts just an iconic swing, already better than the Bautista bat flip, which is already one of the most iconic home runs in baseball history, only behind Joe Carter's walk-off home run that were in the 1993 series. And the Blue Jays, down 2-0 in the series, down 3-2 in the series, down 3-1 in game 7, are able to close it out, and now they're facing the Death Star Dodgers in the World Series. And regardless of what happens, I'm proud of this team. But man, now that we're here, fuck it, let's beat the Dodgers. The 2019 Nationals didn't say, oh, we got to the World Series, that's fine, let's just not beat the Astros. No, they went out and beat the Astros. They won all the road games, and I would love nothing more than the Blue Jays to do that. I think realistically, I would have been happy if they got out of this year and they just beat the Yankees. That would have been fine, but fuck it, let's go for the championship. I could go on and on, but it's truly such a special moment because when I was a little kid, when the Blackhawks won all their cups, I just expected them to win. And now, as an adult who hasn't seen much success from their sports teams in a while, I did cry. Thankfully, I got up at 8 o'clock my time, so I was able to get home and at least watch the game. It was still 3-1, but I was able to watch that home run, and I just couldn't believe it. I'm still in shock. But, anyways, I'm rambling on. We'll talk more about the Blue Jays. How does your brother feel? Has he texted you at all?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty numb to Mariners pain at this point.
Yeah.
He's molded by
Mm-hmm.
it as a kid.
Yeah.
Um, Plus the Seahawks won, so you got something out of it. But
Yeah. Let's go.
and the Seahawks are really good this year, so
That's
I'd
good. That's
imagine
good.
just flip right to that. Yeah, I mean, podcast doesn't know this, but you were pretty doom and gloom after game two, and I had to
Dude, we
remind you
were
real quick, it's a
playing.
long series. Like it's a long series, and both of these teams can hit the home run. I thought the way the Blue Jays closed out game seven was really good. They threw Gossman in there. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do to get the game done. And
Yeah.
you know, they were fighting it against Kirby, but once they had a chance to fight the bullpen, it was really the time to wake up for them. And it's going to be David versus Goliath in the World Series, I guess. But you know, it looks like Bichette's going to be back for you guys, so that's going to be good. And hopefully, it's a good series going up against arguably the best baseball player of all time. So no pressure, and they only have like 9 other All Stars, but it's okay. Yeah, it was a fantastic series. I'm very curious to see the ratings for all the different events on Monday because
Oh,
there are
I
two
already
Monday Night
saw that for
Football games.
Sportsnet. 12 million people watch it in Canada alone. I don't know what it is for the States, but I think at least like 12 million Canadians tuned in, and that's not accounting for do 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 do. And I
But
believe 9 million people were watching like once the final out was recorded. I believe that's what the stats were. A lot. It's like a quarter, 20%, a quarter, a third of the country were watching. It's crazy.
yeah, and rightfully so. I was looking for the ones for the states. It's only showing Canadian, but no, I was just curious because there's a lot of stuff going on last night, and clearly this is the biggest event on the docket, and should be a pretty star-studded World Series. Who's pitching Game One?
For the Dodgers, they already got Snell and Yamamoto. If I think for the Blue Jays, it will be Savage because he'll be on regular rest. Bieber and Gossman both pitched Game 7. They would both be on regular rest as well. So I don't know who would get Game 2 and Game 3. I think they would go Savage, Gossman, and then put Bieber for Game 3. And then they would probably go Max Scherzer Game 4, just like they did this series. But it should be a fun World Series. I know Rob Manfred and all the MLB executives are probably not too happy, but I just guarantee you, LA, Toronto is going to be such a fun World Series. Just star. Obviously, like I said, the Dodgers are the Death Star. They're trying to become the first team since I think the 2000 Yankees to repeat as MLB champions, while the Blue Jays are trying to prevent that from happening and win their first World Series since 1993. Again, I could go on about the Blue Jays. Again, I'm speechless. I don't really even know what to say, but I feel so bad for Mariners fans, except for the one that were booing George Springer, and then he hits the 3-run home run to go ahead. So, but like for the rest of the Mariners fans that weren't doing it, awful. Still the only team to never win the World Series. And on the other end of things, you go up 2-0, win the first 2 games on the road. You are up 3-2 coming in Toronto, and you don't close it out, up 3-1 in Game 7 as well. And so many times in the season, in the postseason, pitching changes and all that stuff, bullpen moves are scrutinized like crazy. I always think of Blake Snell being pulled, but at the end of the day, in that game, I think Tampa Bay only scored 1 run, and then Mariners go to a pitcher that they've used pretty much the entire series. I think it was Springer's third time seeing him, and then he's able to hit the home run off of him. So I'm thankful because Brendan Little went in for that game 5 and essentially blew it. And thankfully, we don't have to wonder what if, like, if they didn't win that series, could they have won that game? Like, we don't have to do that anymore. They're on to the World Series. But yeah, and I do find it funny because they lost that game on my birthday, and then the Hawks lost that game on my birthday as well. I want to ask you because we'll get to the Blackhawks obviously, but the Chicago Bears are on a 4-game winning streak, right? How are you feeling about the Bears right now?
Yeah, they've looked a lot better since the bye week. They're learning how to win ugly games. Run game and run defense has made a huge step forward, which if you heard me about a month ago on this show, those are the 2 points that I was very concerned with this football team. I did not like their run game, and I did not like their pass rush / just D-line in general. They're getting pressure. They're forcing a shit ton of turnovers, which is not sustainable. I think they have 15 in the last 4 games, which is kind of crazy. Especially because not a lot of talent's changed on the team, and they're missing their best player on defense and still putting up those numbers. So Dennis Allen's really got to be. I mean, getting Kyler Gordon back and TJ Edwards back, that helps immensely. But the craziest part is they're the first 4-game win streak since 2018, and it's, I mean, outside of a couple moments, it's not really because of the quarterback. So that one, still room for Caleb to get better and the offense to get better. But if the run game's going to be this good, he's only going to have to hit about 4 or 5 throws a game. And, you know, a lot of people get mad at that style of offense. But, you know, in this case, 3 Super Bowl champions have run that style of offense, looking at the Eagles and the Chiefs. So they still have an immense amount of talent. They're just interjecting their rookies. And, you know, to look ahead, it's, you know, Baltimore's this weekend. If Lamar's back, that's going to be tough. But I mean, it's Baltimore, it's Cincinnati, it's New York, and it's Minnesota. Like, there's a world where they could be on an 8-game win streak going into the Steelers. There's a world where they can go 1-3 in that stretch. You kind of just have to take it week by week with this team, but Ben Johnson's feeling something extremely special with this team, and the Bears have their Sean McVay, and that makes me very happy because this is the first time in my life the Bears have ever had a good coach. I mean, since Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith was good, but this is different. Ben Johnson already leads the league in big play offense, substantially, which is very rare for a first-year, head coach to do with their offense. The Bears have scored more than 21 points in all 6 of their games to start the year. They're the only team in the NFL to do that. This is the team that's like top 5 in the league in penalties taken too. So they're, as much as they're doing right, they're still shooting themselves in the foot. So there's room to grow.
Like the Blackhawks.
Except they got a little more talent than the Blackhawks. This would be like, I don't know. Let's just say Bedard if he had more help than just Nazar. But it's Spencer Knight, but we'll get to that later. I would love to see them win 3 of their next 4. We'd be looking at 7-3 going into really tough back half of the schedule. But yeah, the goal is always to be above 500 in year 1 in Ben Johnson, but there's a legit world where they could be in the playoffs now. And I didn't see that circa a month ago.
Yeah, that was kind of me with the Blue Jays. And just to kind of wrap, I just want to shout out Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who wore Austin Matthews' jersey going into Game 7. And that's low-key kind of a big brain play, because if they lose, everyone's just going to blame the Leafs and be like, oh, it's the Leafs curse because he wore Matthews' jersey, and not actually because the Blue Jays lost Game 7. I just want to read some of the stats because he had a solid regular season, not like an amazing season, especially for someone you paid $500 million to, but this is why you give him the big bucks. In the playoffs, he has 6 home runs, which is already tied for most in Blue Jays postseason history, and that's just in one playoff run. He's tied with Joe Carter and Jose Bautista. 12 RBIs, 6 walks. He's only struck out 3 times, 442 batting average, 510 on base percentage, 930 slugging, and a 1440 OPS. And this is all without Bo Bichette. I think this just speaks to the depth of the Blue Jays lineup. Guerrero has been a star. George Springer had his moments, but then guys like Ernie Clement, who no, I don't think anyone know about Ernie Clement besides Blue Jays fans, and he's hitting, I think, 400. And Andres Gimenez had a couple of big home runs after he had a bad season. Addison Barger, one of the rookies, hit a 2-run shot in Game 6 and got the walk, which started the Springer home run. So they were just so deep down the lineup. The pitching, it's certainly not the Dodgers. I mean, Savage has been a great story. Gossman has done his job. Bieber he had his great Game 3, but he's been a little shaky. And then Max Scherzer earned his $15 million paycheck with that one game performance. And yeah, their bullpen is a little rough too, but they've been able to lock it down when they've had to lock it down. Jeff Hoffman's been awesome. Louis Varland has basically pitched every day for them, and they got Sir Anthony Dominguez. But yeah, it's not. I don't think they have too many trust in a lot of the relievers, but yeah, again, I'm so looking forward to the World Series, regardless of what happens. I think it's going to be fun. And yeah, I just wanted to shout out Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because he is a legitimate superstar, and just seeing him, seeing pictures of him with his dad when he was with the Expos as a little kid wearing an Expos jersey, and you fast forward 25 years, and now he gets to play for a World Series. It's just awesome. That's why sports are so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Davis said it on the broadcast, and we're for Ohtani. He's probably the best player in baseball right now.
Yeah, if Shohei Ohtani didn't pitch 6 scoreless innings and then hit 3 home runs, yeah, we might be talking about Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as the best hitter on the planet. But hey, beat Aaron Judge's team and beat Cal Rowley's team, 2 AL MVP favorites. Can you now do that, the Dodgers? I don't know, but we're gonna see. Do we want to get on to the Blackhawks now?
Yeah, what difference a week makes with that team?
All they needed was one win. Yeah.
One more note. So we joked about it Monday when I was watching the Bears against the Commanders last week, but the Bears and Blackhawks have not won on the same Sunday in, what was it, since 2019?
I can't remember. I think it was 2019. I remember I did a bunch of research. I think it was 2019. I'll see if I can find that up.
Well, regardless, they've done it twice in a week.
Been a while.
So, they've done it twice in a single week, which is pretty cool. And
okay, I got it. November 10th, 2019 would have been the last time that they both won the same game in Chicago. I'm pretty sure the stat was. Or no, yeah. The last time they both won in Chicago would have been November 10th, 2019, when the Bears beat the Lions and then the Blackhawks beat the Leafs. LOL. That's what it was.
And they did that Sunday, and then the Bears were on the road Monday, but they both still won that day too, which is pretty cool. But
yeah, 2023 was the last time it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, screw 2023. No one likes that.
Yeah, November 9th, 2023. Bears beat the Panthers, and
the Blackhawks beat the Lightning. Connor Bedard.
Yeah, you were at that game, weren't you?
I was at that game. I had very good seats for the first 2 Bedard goals. It was amazing. It's always been luck in the hundreds on that side. I saw 2 Kane goals back in the day right in front of me on that side. For some reason when I sit on that side, the Hawks love to score right in front. It was always fun.
And that's their next opponent right now. So we did talk about the first week, and that game against Florida, they were kind of just hanging on for dear life. Spencer Knight was doing Spencer Knight things, which is what he's done.
Some jitters from the back end,
Typical first game stuff. Then playing against Boston, I saw that as that's just hockey. Sometimes they had so many good chances, and that overtime to end it, and then the one chance the Bruins get, they win it. And that Montreal game was tough because they kind of shot themselves in the foot, taking so many penalties, and they allowed that goal the last minute. But the thought is just get a win, and I think this team can get going. They were able to grind out a win against Utah. It wasn't pretty. Watching that game, there wasn't really ever a moment where any team had a crazy amount of pressure. It was a very low event game. There wasn't a moment where Utah was in the zone. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to score here. It was pretty low event, and same with the Blackhawks. What was it? They had 14 or 15 shots. It was definitely less than 20, but they also only gave up, I think, 24, 25 shots anyway. So got the win there. And then when's the last time the Blackhawks BTA'd a team, belt to ass a team like that in St. Louis? That might have been my favorite Hawks win post-COVID, like not including the bubble, I suppose. Can you think of any recent games? Because I cannot.
That the Hawks have played that structured and well. Oh God, no. We talked about it the night of the game. It's the best game of the Bedard era by far in terms
Easily,
of
yeah.
top
First
to
time they
bottom
scored 8
effort.
goals too.
And this is a team that is not going to go down quietly this year. They are very pesky. And I think the St. Louis game just amplified that. It was 2-2 at the end of one. Kind of felt like anyone could have that game. It's been a very open game, first of all. Defense, like I know the coaches were just ripping their hair out looking at the defense half the time.
Oh, yeah.
But credit to Blashpilled. He settled his guys down in the second period, and the Hawks just never looked back. I mean, it's might be Lucas Reichel's best game in his NHL career.
Yeah.
Just showing, if he can put it all together, that's what's there. With that speed and his hands, and just he could have had a hat trick at 3 different points in that game. Bedard, incredible. Just being a nuisance on the ice. Nazar being a nuisance. Rock star goal. Rock star celebration. Ryan Green
Put
first
that
NHL
photo
goal.
in the Louvre of him with.
He had 2 in 1 week. It's what the celebration against Anaheim. He's doing it too.
So much aura, man.
He's so good. He's just.
Yeah.
He gets better every game, it feels like. And I feel like you and I have been saying this since, after the Four Nations last year, but it just, he took 3 months off and he's gotten better every game. He's gotten to the point that now that Dickinson is out, Blasphill's putting him on the top assignments. He's that good two-way. It's been just such a thrill to watch this player develop. He's point a game right now. I think it's 7 points in 7 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. Producing on his own line, producing on the power play. He and Teravainen have incredible chemistry. He's got good chemistry with Bertuzzi. Obviously, he and Bedard have very good chemistry. It's an exciting player to watch develop on this team. And, another player that I think needs to get a shout out, and I think it showed a lot in the St. Louis game as well, and especially the Anaheim game, Wyatt Kaiser. Wyatt Kaiser has been absolutely phenomenal this season. And analytics the analytics back it up. He's slowly forming into this team's Nicholas Hjalmarsson right before our very eyes with more offensive upside. And I think that's just like you and I always talked about it. That 2 left D spot was always going to be up for grabs on this team behind Vlasic. And if you're top 4 going forward, and Kaiser and Lebshinov already have great chemistry on that second pair, and then you got Vlasic and Renzel on the first pair, that is such a solid nucleus on the back end. And, Crevier's coming into his own. Hell, he could have 2-3 goals to start the season. He had a breakaway in the one game against Vancouver.
Oh my God, that was crazy. Did you see his quote where he was like, I don't really celebrate for goals, but I scored on that one. I would have celebrated. I wish I scored or something.
Oh, you got it. You would have pantsed him. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get into the Vancouver game in a minute, but I really wanted to talk about those 2 Hawks, and then we'll do a separate segment for the goalie because he's just been spectacular. But Kaiser, I just think deserves his flowers for this start. He's been so consistent, and he's playing 20 minutes a night. And he had that rough delay game on Sunday, but besides that, he was excellent in that game. He's been a fun player to watch, and he got him at 1.7 for the next 2 years. And I got to imagine if he keeps this up, we're going to see a fat extension for Wyatt Kaiser this offseason.
That's what they should be doing, locking up their young talent. Especially looking at that defense. If you can do what Nashville did a decade ago and just lock all your guys up long term and just have them locked in, have your top 4, that would be awesome. And man, that Frank Nazar contract might just end up being the best contract in the NHL. It's just getting better and better every day.
Well, Nathan McKinnon's is going to be the best contract in the NHL when it's all said.
Oh, and I guess there's that Connor McDavid fella, but who are those bums anyways?
Yeah, but
they're gross Canadians and not good Americans.
It's just so true, though. Like, I mean, $6.7 million for the next 7 years. He's been dynamite. I mean, you could argue he's been their second best player so far. I think best players got crowned by the goaltender, but he's just such a special player. And, it's always nice to see a prospect that we were so high on Nazar dating back 3+ years. And to just see the fruit, it's all starting to come together at a level that I don't even think either of us really saw. Like, we knew he had
No.
we thought he had top 6 upside just because he had such a high motor and he had, he was putting up crazy points in the development program. But I mean, he's tenacious. You can't knock him off the puck. He doesn't quit on any battles. Like, go look at his goal against Anaheim. He gets knocked down, gets right back up, sets up Kaiser for a
You're
chance,
never
gets the
gonna keep him
rebound.
down. Yeah.
Oh, he's tenacious. You would never know he's 5'9". It's almost like what Brad Marchand does when he has the puck. You would never know Brad Marchand's 5'7" with the way he plays. And that's kind of how Frank Nazar is right now. And honestly, Connor Bedard's got a little bit of that in his game too. He's winning a lot more puck battles. So the kids are all right, as they say.
I don't know. I just think I don't want to be pessimistic, but go to a more pessimistic side because it's been a great start for the Hawks. And my couple questions I want to ask is who has looked out of place for this team other than I don't know, Sam Lafferty? Because even though they haven't been incredible, I don't think Andre Burakovsky has been horrible. Tyler Bertuzzi is starting to find it a little bit. He should have had the game-winning goal.
He had a great weekend.
Friday. Yeah, he should have had 2 goals that game. He's starting to find it. Ryan Donato is as well, and then you got the young kids doing their thing. Who looks out of place right now?
If I look at this Hawks team right now, I'm just if you have Frondell on this team, they're ready to rock and roll. It's that top 6. It's that left wing with Bedard and Burakovsky. That's still just the missing piece of the puzzle. But I love that third line. That third line of Mikheyev, Dickinson, Donato has some of the best 5-on-5 metrics in the NHL.
Speaking of extension, we haven't talked to him at all. The unsung hero of the Blackhawks, and really last year was Ilmac. Let's go! I am, speaking of extensions, I am all for giving Mikheyev 2 or 3 years, kind of like what they gave Ryan Donato, except maybe a year or 2 less.
Yeah, I mean, because he plays such a pivotal role in the bottom 6 in the penalty kill, and he has chemistry with Bedard if you need to throw some speed on his wing every now and then. He's a useful player, and we talk about it all the time. You look at him 2 years ago before they traded for him. He was coming off the ACL injury. People didn't know. He's always had the issue of always got stone hands, but he's got this speed, and I just feel like the Hawks figured out a role for him. And I don't feel like any other team really did that. I feel like every team kind of looked at what he did in Toronto and was like, oh, we can get 20 goals, 45 points out of you. That's not what he is. He's an excellent two-way forward. And, yeah, he might pop 15 goals for you. He's going to get the breakaways. He's going to get the chances. And you need players like that. And especially if you don't trust some of your bottom 6 guys to develop, I think that takes a little less pressure off guys like Slager to really solidify that role in the bottom 6, which I think he can, but Mikheyev's got way more of an upside offensively than I'd say a Slager does. So the years I'd be a little concerned with that because I think once this team really starts rolling in the kids, Kanserov leads the league in KHL goals. We'll get into the AHL.
Holy fuck, dude.
Hawks FC for prospects and the team has never been higher in the last 3 years. It's insane this week for Blackhawks FC. But I just worry if he might take a roster spot from one of those guys in year 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm always down to keep good players, and I think it's going to be hard to keep a guy like Dickinson, especially when I think Ryan Green has really come into his role in the bottom 6. This is a guy who shouldn't have even been on the team. I don't know if you read the article. He was literally checking into his hotel in Rockford, and the Blackhawks were like, "Yeah, you got to go to Florida." And he's kept that role. He's played great in the penalty kill. He's getting power play time now, which I think is kind of crazy. Jeff Blather really likes that player, and I like what I see from him as well. And that's the kind of guy that it would be okay to part with a Dickinson because you have something like that in the system and Oliver Moore, and these great two-way forwards. So Tyler Davidson's going to have some decisions to make. If we're talking out of place, Colin Murphy might be out of place on this team now for the first time since he's been a Blackhawk. I hope they just trade him.
Nothing against him. I hope they just trade him and he gets to go win it. Trade him to Florida. I'm so serious.
I was going to say Colorado, just somewhere
that
good.
Works too.
And just let him go for a cup. Another thing, I gave him a lot of crap when they signed him and kept him on the team. But Matt Grzelcyk has been a very steady defenseman for this hockey team, and for the money he's making, it's so nice to just let Korchinski. If they're gonna give Korchinski another year, this feels a little better. Del Mastro clearly needed another year. Allen needed another year. It's a good stopgap, and he's really good steady on that third pair. He was up with Ridzel for a bit too. That was a little interesting, but I feel like we should talk about that as well. Blashpill's run a lot of 7D, and this is the first time.
Honestly, I fuck with it.
Yeah, like this is the first time ever that I think I've been okay with 7 defensemen. I feel like every time in the past when the Hawks used to do it, it was like, oh my god, we have Rob Scuderi at forward now. What are we doing? But
oh my god,
it takes pressure off guys like Levshinov. It takes pressure off guys like Sam Rinzel, so he doesn't play 26 minutes a night. He only plays 22 minutes a night. You don't have to play Murphy 22 minutes a night anymore, which is better for Connor Murphy. Like, I think he has had a great start to the season. It's just, the timelines don't align anymore, unfortunately. But, great veteran leadership and whatnot. And like you said, that's people are always looking for right shot defenseman that can play defense. He's going to be the David Savard of the deadline.
And they might get a decent return for him. I'm not concerned about that.
And that's another guy that, like, if Davidson sees a reason to extend, his family's here. He loves it here. If he wants to stick around, he can. I just think, like, if that's the reason a guy like Louis Crevier is not playing every night or Levshinov's not playing every night, we got some problems. And that's kind of the situation they've been in this year. So it'll be interesting to see how Blashpilled handles that as the season goes. But obviously the kid's got to earn the chances. So force his hand.
Yeah, I feel the defense is good enough to run 70, and then you just let Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar do their thing. Give them all the opportunities.
Give Donato an extra shift.
Where are we at with Lucas Reichel? Because he was scratched the first, I think, 3 games. And Jeff Blashill, again, I don't have the code in front of me, but he was like, oh, we got to give him the opportunity to play, but then he didn't play. And then he has that great game against St. Louis. Like, where are we at with Lucas Reichel? Because we're going on year 3 now of him. Oh, could he be something? Could he not? And I would love for this to be the year for him. Again, we're maybe not a top 6 guy, but a guy who can be on your third line and be, 30, 35 points, maybe get second power play time. I don't know. But also, if he keeps this up, maybe you trade him. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Lucas Reichel? Because I still don't know, but I would love to be proven wrong and him have his best season so far.
It's another one of those ones where I just talk about, like, there's timelines that aren't aligning right now. And when everyone gets healthy, they're going to be in a situation where he's not going to play every night. And I like the way this is another reason I like 7 defensemen, because it's going to force Blashill to put Reichel with a Nazar or Bedard. Like, I think Reichel was on the second line with Nazar and Teravainen a good bit a couple nights ago. And, they were generating chances. I think that's the best chance he's gotten with talent ever.
Yeah.
But he's got to earn the chance at the end of the day. I'd love for him to find a spot on this team, but if he doesn't earn it and he doesn't put up the production or he doesn't find a role on this roster, the hand's going to get forced. And there's a couple prospects where they're going to start leaning that way, I think. We talk about Korchinski all the time, but it's not just for that reason. It's because if you really want to put the Hawks over the top and help these kids coming up, you get a top 6 forward, like a legit top 6 forward. That, once Teravainen and Bertuzzi and Burakovsky are all out the door, he's still going to be there with the kids. Like, I think that's such a key right now to find that piece. So it takes the pressure off Rundell when he comes over. So it takes the pressure off Kanserov. So it takes the pressure off Moore and Bardis. I think that matters a lot. So to have pieces like Reichel, to have pieces like Korchinski, to have your pick of the litter of defensemen in Rockford, they have a lot of speedy forwards that can, play roles at an NHL level. It's time to start using those assets, I think. Not this year, but maybe at the draft.
There's going to be a time where they're going to have to, and like Kyle Davidson's hand's going to be forced, because all these young players that are in their early to mid 20s are going to solidify, and you have made so many draft selections. There's just not going to be any room. So there might be a time where it gets tough, and maybe you do have to trade Kevin Korchinski or anyone else who is coming up. So again, it's not going to happen right now, but yeah, come the draft, come the off season, another year under all these young players' belts. Like, man, I always think back to the JJ Paterka trade and just like how Utah didn't give up crazy young prospects, but Buffalo got back two controllable young players that are in their mid 20s. And I just think, man, what if like Louis Crevier is like Michael Kesselring, and he establishes himself as a top four defenseman who can play shutdown minutes, and you can trade that and get a young winger back equivalent maybe of JG Paterka, maybe not that good, but something close to it. And then you trade, I don't know, I'm just saying name Colton Dock, like equivalent to Josh Doan. Like that's what you need to do if you're Kyle Davidson.
Yeah, and I think these players have to prove that they're worth that. And I think Doc, he leads the league in hits, so he's starting to morph into kind of what this team needs, which is they need some real muscle, and that's why he's on the roster right now. He earned his spot. He's had time with Bedard this year, time on the third line with Donato, and I think he's looked good in most positions that they put him in, including the power play. But if a guy like him or Crevier or Del Mastro becomes a guy, or I still think Korchinski is the real asset there, because if he becomes,
he's a wild card now, I think. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I think upside really sells when you're trying to make a trade like that. But you're right. It depends on the team, because Buffalo wasn't looking for that at the time. Buffalo was looking for NHL ready players that have shown games and have shown potential and that are young. So they're going to have their option for how they want to get that player. I just think if you're Davidson, you should. American Thanksgiving is always the day. So we're about a month away from there. We'll see where the Hawks are. But if they're anything, higher than 8th last, I'd probably start at least sniffing around, see what's out there, to reward your guys. Because, you heard it in the interview with TNT on Wednesday. Bedard and Nazar are like, we're not here to win in 3 years. We're here to win now. And the team's playing like it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it keeps up, I think you got to reward it. But this is house money right now. Like, it's the first time they're over Bettman 500 in 700 days. I'm not saying
it's been a while. It's been a while.
3 and 4, but it's been a long time. So they were above 500 in 22, 23 also. So I'm not going to put too much into it, but also they're winning a different way than any of the Hawks teams have won in the last 8 years. Like, it's all one goal games. It's all tight.
Really, since Quenneville,
tied or have a lead. They're just playing a different style of hockey, and I think you got to credit Blashpilled for the coaching staff for getting out of the players, but I think it's just the players as well. I think they're sick of fucking losing. I think they're sick of being told they're in the basement. It's nice to play with the chip on your shoulder sometimes.
Dude, I think I am Blashpilled right now.
Blashpilled? Yeah, I might be too. For the meantime, at least. Power play still needs some work, but penalty kill's been fantastic. 5-on-5, this is the best they've looked in God knows how long, and it's still not even that good. But if you just look at where they've been the last 4 or 5 years, this is progress. This is progression. For most people, a 48 expected goals for or whatever, that's not good. But Blackhawks were like 44 at one point.
That's like a quantum leap for the Hawks to be that high.
Literally.
And power play, I would think, is the easiest thing to fix.
They're too slow. They set up too slow. They need more speed.
You need more fast guys.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like they're slow setting up. Like, the Leafs have this problem where they just kind of lollygag at the puck. Like, the tape's out there. They just pressure Renzel at the point or Bedard at the point, and that puck's going out most of the time. Like, someone else is going to have to step up, and I think that's I've talked about it time and time again. I'd like to see them put Bedard on the right circle and Nazar on the left, Renzel at the point, and then just kind of rotate everyone a little bit. But putting Bedard on the right, I just think opens this offense up so much more on the power play. But they like his one-timer. They like him on the left circle. for the longest time. That's where Kane was on the right circle. It's the one-timer is the spot you want to be in, especially when you have a guy like Teravainen on the other side who can rip it as well. Don't think he gets enough credit for just how deceptive his one-timer can be. But it's something they're going to have to fix. The second units look good, though. I'll give them that. I think Burakovsky's really commanding that second unit. I think Levshinov's taken a step on the power play, which isn't getting talked about enough, because that was one of his big struggles last year as a rookie. He really couldn't hold that point on the power play, but this is another situation where having another piece can make such a difference, because if you have, throw whatever name, the JJ Peterka equivalent, that knocks a guy like Teravainen into the second unit where you could just unlock so much more. If you have Teravainen, Donato, Burakovsky, Levshinov, and then throw your pick of the litter in there as the fourth forward. They're going to figure it out, but it's better than your special teams looking great, your 5-on-5 being just abysmal. So I'll take the puck luck, I'll take the PDO, and I'll take the competitive hockey.
Honestly, they're due for it, and I think one of the, like you said earlier, how the Blackhawks aren't just here to win in 2-3 years. They're here to win now. They definitely got a chip on their shoulder. We've been texting each other. Connor Bedard is getting into so many scrums. So is Frank Nazar. But all it makes me think of is those videos of cats that will be near alligators and crocodiles and just swatting at them and putting the fear of God in them. And that's Connor Bedard right now. And did you watch the LFR with Steve Dangle and how it was called DNA and how they lost to the Kraken, and like how Brandon Carlo didn't do anything after Anthony Stolarz got pushed into the net? Like, I'm always of the belief that it is harder to or it is easier to tame a lion than to paint stripes on a kitty cat. Clearly, these, like Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar, they got some fuck you to their game. They love doing this, and I think that's awesome that they're doing it at a young age, and that they are taking over the role. They want to be the guys, they want to be the leaders, and so far I think Jeff Blashill has done a great job of playing all those guys and letting them succeed. And we've said from the start that the three guys, Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar, and Sam Renzo, those guys are the catalysts. They are the X factors. And Spencer Knight, I will talk about him after this, because to me, he's really is the MVP for this team. All you need is some guys to jump along and give them some help, and you're starting to get that now. Artem Levshunov, like what you said, that second pairing of Kaiser and Levshunov, Alex Vlasic is Vlasic. He's steady. Like we said, Tyler Bertuzzi is starting to find his game. Andre Burakovsky, well, it hasn't been amazing. Like, he hasn't been bad either. And now, like, there's this help for this team is closer than we think it is now. Just looking at the AHL and how Nick Lourdes was the player of the week in the AHL, and Oliver Moore is also point per game. I think he's goal per game as well. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better start. And not that I think they're going to be up within a week or so, but instead of it being Christmas, New Year's, both those guys could be up by American Thanksgiving, especially if there is more injuries. But man, it's so hard not to feel good about the state of this team right now. I just hope they keep it up. Like, I don't expect them to be at Bettman 500 for the whole year, but once it's hit November, after the first month, these last couple of years, they just fall off a cliff. I would like them to see, like, within striking distance come Thanksgiving. At least give us a chance to be delusional that this team might make the playoffs. Hockey is back, and this season, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action you love. New customers, bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. If I had needed this product, it's what I'd use. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through or per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
Yeah, and I think the person that's going to give us that chance happens to be the guy between the pipes because Spencer Knight deserves his own segment. It's just I can't even put it into words. I saw it live in Florida. Just chance after chance. Like I'm just listening to the whole crowd, just just be like, God damn it, Knight, just let one in. And I'm just
For us,
listening to
please.
it all. Literally. He's such a calming presence in that net. Probably the most calming presence we've had in that net since Corey Crawford or Robin Leonard.
Easily, yeah.
And obviously, I don't think a 937 is sustainable. I don't think a 1.7.
Dude, give me a
goals against is
917,
sustainable.
912.
But what I will say is the defensive style they're playing, they're not allowing those games anymore where they're putting up 40 shots. Like they are playing a way more structured style on their own end. And Knight's seeing everything. If Knight sees that puck, it's probably not going in most of the time. Like 95, unless that's a perfect shot to the corner. And I think we saw that a lot last year when he first got here. People were just picking corners at some point.
Dude, it was ESHL. I've said this. They were pinpoint accuracy or pinpoint passing where you're just going cross crease and he has no chance. Like he did let in a couple stinkers, but I feel more often than not he was just giving up like perfectly placed shots and just perfectly played. Like that defense was just getting picked apart.
Yeah, and that's not the case this year at all. And when the defense does falter, he's just been a brick wall. I'll give Soderholm his flowers too. I thought he was excellent in Boston.
He's given him a chance to win.
Yep, and he had a good. I think he was in against St. Louis as well, so he had a good game there. He had a bunch of saves. But Spencer Knight, I just think of the game in Vancouver. Elias Pettersson walks the Hawks after being stuck on the ice for 2 minutes, and he just robs him blind up close. And yeah, Pettersson doesn't have the confidence that he used to have, but I mean, he put every move on him going to the net, and Spencer Knight stood tall, sprawled, save, cross crease save after cross crease save. I mean, he's just finding rebounds when he shouldn't. He's swiping pucks off the goal line. It's just he plays the puck extremely well, which I don't think it's talked about enough. This is the first time we've had a very good puck handler in net for the Hawks, and it cuts off. Having a goaltender who can handle the puck primarily eliminates the dump and chase entirely, and especially if you're just rattling it in and around the boards. Unless it's like one of those high floaters off the stanchion, that's probably the only way you're getting a dump and chase in against a goalie who can play the puck. And Spencer Knight is negating a lot of those chances because of that. And I mean, let's be honest, he could easily be undefeated, if not one loss against Florida. If it
should have a shutout, man.
Games.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, oh my God, he should have had a shutout against Anaheim. I'm in the car driving home, and I just hear McTavish scores, and it broke my heart. I was like 30 seconds left, man. Come on, just get the empty netter. Oh.
Dude, they still haven't had a shutout in almost 2 years, which, funny enough, was
don't worry, Spencer Knight's getting a couple this year.
He's due.
No doubt in my mind. And then it's so satisfying when the Hawks play a team and I just hear Rick Ball go, yeah, Spencer Knight's been really good against this team in his career. And they show his stats and he's got like a 930 against the Ducks. He's got a 930 against, the Habs or whatever team there. Or I think it was Canucks. He was really good against Canucks. And, he's been phenomenal. And if he keeps it up, that might be the first win-win trade the NHL's seen in a long time. They got a couple for Seth Jones, and if Spencer Knight ends up becoming what we know he can be, which is the franchise goalie. He's played 5 of the first 7 starts. I know we kind of talked about how they were going to split up the tandem. It looks like he's well on pace for 50 starts this year, which it has to make you feel good. And, good on him for taking a bridge and betting on himself, because holy smokes, if he keeps this up for 3 years, that contract's in the 8s, at least. Because goaltender contracts are a little harder to track, I feel.
Yeah.
But
I hope he's getting 10, but 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm his camp, I'm looking at what Sorokin got and stuff, and I'm just like, guys, I'm backpacking you in games. Like this is I think the goals saved above expected is 12 right now. Which,
I'm pretty
in layman's terms, means he's stopping a lot of pucks that should probably go in.
Yeah.
Oh man. He's been excellent. I can't say enough good things about him. It's the most calming presence they've had in the net since Corey Crawford, and I think that's the best thing you can say about him.
I 100% agree. So I'm on natural stat trick right now, and
Read it
so
off. I
goals
want to hear
saved
it.
above average. Igor Shesterkin is number one at 7.21,
Oh,
and I know like
you're telling me the best goal in the league had a one down year? That was like a
okay, but this
908.
is
Now he's
hang on. This is on 5-on-5. Sorry, if I go all strengths, I wonder if it's different. Hang on.
yeah, 'cause you know he's got a couple stops on the penalty kill. Although the Hawks penalty kill really negates the shots on it. I feel like I don't feel like there's
Okay, it
a
really
lot of
doesn't make a
crazy.
difference because Shesterkin still has a 9.1 goals saved above of average in all strengths, and then Spencer Knight is second with 5.8. So I think he's been pretty
So
good.
good, so good. Like I just
MVP so far, IMO.
for the Hawks, 100%. Like I said, I think it's the top three players so far. But we're ready to do a top five. It's probably Knight, Nazar, Bedard, Kaiser, Renzel.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably on my five would go.
I would
Throw
agree.
Classic in there too.
He's just always so sturdy, classic. Like,
He's just been so much. I feel like he's always been noticeable, but I just feel like now that he has a confident partner, he's like, all right, I'll jump up, you jump up, let's rotate, let's get this going. And we're definitely seeing it. Like he had 3 assists against St. Louis, I think. Like
I mean, the whole
he's playing very
team
good
got a
hockey.
piece of the pie. Yeah, with that
Talk
game.
about another good contract. Hey like are they paying Knight, Nazar, and freaking oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Knight, Nazar, and freaking Vlasic. Oh my
Classic.
god,
Yeah,
my brain is just having the biggest
you're
brain fart.
good.
It's been a weird week, but yeah, like they're paying all those guys less than like Kaprizov by like $3 million. It's
Yeah.
kind of excellent. Excellent handling of the cap like Davidson, which once again opens you up to make a big move if you want to, or get a top 6 forward. Like go get your Timo Meyer. You know what I mean? That helped New Jersey so much to put him over the top. And I'm not saying the Hawks are where New Jersey was a couple years ago, but
No, I wish
when
were,
they
but
get
no.
to that point, which I think is like, if you talk to us in the offseason, I'd probably say that points in 2 years. They keep this up. That could be next year.
Dude, if they get Frundell, I said this. If they get Frundell in, and if they somehow by the grace, I mean, they're playing their way out of McKenna conversation, but I still expect them to be probably a top 5 pick.
Oh no,
like
they'll get the
overall.
6'6" dude out of the OHL. Don't know.
About
How
6,
terrible.
yeah. Like you had another, like if they somehow get McKenna or Stenberg, you add that to your lineup, you add Frundell and one of Cancerov or Lars, but shit at this rate, both of them might be in the NHL next year, and obviously Oliver Moore. Like this team might just explode next year, and if not, then the year after that. And you already got all your young defensemen who are more established. And you got Spencer Knight too.
Yeah, like when you said like they're playing your way out of the McKenna sweepstakes, like that's music to my ears. I'm sorry. I can't. I really don't want to hear about the McKenna sweepstakes, especially just because they have so much talent. Like, let's just start progressing, not stagnate. And this is the first year that we're seeing progression, which is good. But I feel like this is the best part. It's changing the national narrative, which is something that has desperately been needed. Like, I swear to God, the average person doesn't know the Sharks are on a 16-game losing streak. They don't know that. They don't know that. And the media doesn't talk about it, but damn sure they'll talk about the Hawks when they go on a 3-game skid. Or Bedard slams his stick because the ref gives him a misconduct for sitting there. Like, okay. But, like, that TNT game, it's going to sound dumb, but that did such a difference for how the league is viewing this team now.
That was so good for the PR.
Literally, bro. Like I'm listening to like what Chicklets is saying. I'm listening to what 32 Thoughts is saying. Like they're not talking about the Hawks the same way they were in the offseason. And it's because teams are finally starting to realize the changing of the guard is happening right now. Like the kids are starting to roll in, and they're going to start rolling in like a tidal wave here pretty soon. So the rest of the league better get ready. Like that. Like we talked about it all year. If they can have that Ducks jump that they had last year, that's perfect. And they're on pace for that right now. So couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier
Just
with
get
that.
the 30, man. Just get the 30. Anything more, house money.
We're a tenth of the way there.
He's almost a quarter of the halfway there.
They're on pace for 82 points. Let's go.
Get excited. I really just think that people are going to hate the Blackhawks, obviously, for obvious reasons, and I get it. I really think the whole and Blackhawks fans too. I feel everyone would feel so differently about this team if they had Ivan Demidov. I really think that's all that is, because they just have such a good prospect pool. Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar they're already superstars, and there's a reality where both of them could make their respective Olympic teams. Like Bedard could be on Canada, and Frank Nazar could be in USA. They got a great young defensive core. They're got their goalie. They just need winger help. That's all it is. If they had Ivan Demidov, I think it's complete. The narrative around Hawks fans in the entire NHL, it's different. But it's glad to see some positive PR for the Blackhawks that guys like Biz are buying in. Because people are, say what you will about Biz, people are going to listen to him.
Yeah, and people just aren't watching, so they just don't know, which I think also helps. But Nazar is definitely helping his case by being as versatile as he is. Like, Frank Nazar can adapt to a bottom six role in the Olympics better than, some of these guys who are very offensively inclined. Like, not saying this is the case, but like if they came down to like Nazar or Cooley, they're probably taking Nazar, because Nazar can kill penalties, he can win faceoffs, he can take tough assignments, he can, he's not reliant on playing with the top players. We clearly saw that at the Worlds last year.
Dude, fucking
That
playing with
versatility
Michael
matters.
McCarron.
Making Michael McCarron look like a 40-goal scorer, like just. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some serious questions that are going to have to be had if the Hawks keep this up. And I'm not saying keep up being overpaid 500, but keep up being competitive every night. Is more what I'm saying. Because you're not going to win every game. You're not going to, it would have been nice to win. Technically, it would have been 4 straight if you didn't get hoed in Vancouver, but
they should have won that game. I hate blaming the refs on or like referee for any game. I think is so stupid, because there's so many other points where
I'm
they
not
screwed you,
blaming
but
the refs.
yeah,
I'm not blaming the refs. I'm blaming the NHL for not knowing what the fuck goalie interference is.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I mean. Yeah, like the rules, refs, whatever you want to like.
Terrible.
Because it's just flip a coin, and they got screwed out of that game. I hate saying that because there's so many other opportunities, but they should have won that game. That should have been a goal.
Yep.
Anyways.
Ridiculous. It was such a good shift too. It was like one of the best shifts of the game. And but I think Blashpilled said in the pregame on Sunday, like those are the games you have to learn from. You're playing a team in the second half of back-to-back, you're up 2-0, you should win that game.
Yep.
You take that, you learn from it, and you move on. And what do? They win a very tight 1-0 or 2-1 game after that. Could have been 1-0 with the way they were playing. Like no offense till the third period.
But they also could have lost that game too in overtime. And
and they did.
But Bedard would just not be denied for that. He wanted to win that fucking game so bad.
Dude, he had like 9 shots in the third, and I'm just like, this is why you just need to feed this kid. Because it's just once these shots start hitting, it's gonna be a problem for the rest of the league. Like, Kane used to do this all the time. People forget. Like he used to just throw 7 shots on a game sometimes, just because he was the king of the knuckle puck. But Bedard's a little different. He's just gonna be able to start picking corners at some point. Like. He's probably had 4 goals this year alone getting robbed off the knob of a goalie stick. Which, excellent save by the goalie. That's not happening every fucking time.
No. He's so due for just a big offensive outburst. Like, he is on the precipice of him finally having this explosion where he just goes on a crazy run for a couple of weeks and scores, like, I don't know, 10 goals maybe. I don't know. Like, a lot of goals. He's due for it.
Because he's playing how he played in junior. He's playing like a fucking bulldog right now. Like, that was what he was when he was with Regina, man. Like, people forget. You're not knocking him off the puck. He's stealing the puck from you. He's going to do everything in his power to make it great. Like, he made some passes that just make my brain melt. Like, I think they were talking about it in the Blues game. Like, it looks like he's about to break his neck when he's looking back and throwing stuff across the ice. Like, that's why I want him on the right circle on the power play, because just his vision is unbelievable. And, he's testing the goalies from the goal line. He's doing all the classic stuff that he likes to do. But, you do that because sometimes it's going to work. Like last year in Tampa, it worked. In Florida 2 years ago, it worked. Like, that's why you take those chances. So, like you said, I think he's about to punch through that glass ceiling right now. And
he's so due.
Look out,
because he didn't have that last year, it felt like, at all.
No,
like,
not at all.
He just went on a crazy stretch.
He's got more bursts. He's got more edge to his game. I would say he's way more physical. He's not playing nearly as timid after coming off the jaw. Like, because I was a firm believer that after he broke his jaw, like he wasn't getting any chances in the slot. He wasn't doing all
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
He's being very perimeter. That is not the case at all this year. I mean, hell, one of his goals, he's literally net front on the power play, and it went off him. Like, he's doing whatever it takes to win, and you got to love that. And he's taking, a lot of people were like, and including myself, were thinking, maybe it's Vlasic that's the next captain or something. Bedard is taking full leadership role on this team. Like,
It's his team.
It's
his team.
It's his team. It's his team, and they know it. And it helps having, another great player that's your age to bounce off of. Like, we talk about it all the time. It helps so much that Taves had Kane. And I'm not saying Nazar is on the level of Taves or Kane, or Bedard for that matter. But if your two best players are that tight and relieve the stress, because I feel like Bedard was feeling the stress last year a little bit. He was feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
And, it's just a fucking problem with the city. The city's so starved and desperate to see success that they put so much pressure on these players. Like, I look at Caleb Williams. He's got immense pressure right now. Ben Johnson, immense pressure. The Cubs have immense pressure, and they were just in the divisional round. Same goes for the Blackhawks. And Bedard was, I think, feeling that pressure last year, especially from the national media, especially from, boneheaded fans that were like, why is he only 67 points in 82 games in a year where he was just
67.
Like, if that's a down year, oh God, look out.
If that's the worst he can do.
That's the worst it's going to get. Look the F out. Oh my God. But,
and not every first overall pick is going to have the same trajectory. Like, not everyone's going to be Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid. Like, look at Nathan McKinnon, man. Like, he didn't really take off till like fifth year, I think. Like, he won the Calder in his first year, but there was a few years where he was just kind of an above average player, a good player, nothing amazing. And that's why he got like screwed on his contract. I think he only made 6.3 for 7 years, and then he just exploded, has got a heart, has a Stanley Cup, and is like top 5 player in the NHL, top 3, if that. Like, gotta give it some time. And I think that goes for the Sharks as well. These players are so young. I think we just gotta stop giving them grief, and just let them figure it out. But anyways.
Well, meanwhile, half the fan base wants to castrate Levshunov every time he takes a penalty. So, the pressure went from Bedard right to Levshunov in terms of the rash crowd, as I would say.
Yeah, there's always going to be the scapegoat, and unfortunately, and I get why it is Artem Levshunov. Not that I think he should get as much hate, but I think
he's been great.
I've said this. No, I don't like. He has been great. I just think he is Evan Bouchard. He is going to be great. He's going to get points. The possession's going to be positive, and he's just going to make one boneheaded play that just pisses off the entire fan base. That's what I think it's going to be.
Welcome back, Seth Jones. That's really all it is.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Like, that's how I explained it to Nick, because Nick was like, "Who's going to be the new Seth Jones on the team?" I was like, "Well, they got this kid from Belarus, and every time he has the puck in his hands,
so there's
a
guy from Belarus." Yeah,
but it's true, and he has these flashes where he's the single reason they're getting goals. Sometimes he's leading the rush, he's hitting, I think he's been very exciting in 3-on-3 overtime. Like, that's probably where he's going to get his first goal. He's been so close to his first goal multiple times this year.
He's due.
So due. And he's better on the power play. I think he's having less moments where he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing on the ice. And I feel like we saw a lot of that last year where he didn't really know.
He's way too nonchalant too.
Yeah. Yeah. Still has a little bit of that. He's got the Nylander in him, man. He's got a little aloofness to him, but he's very quick on his stick and he's quick on his feet. So, he's got a little Seth Jones in him. He's got a little Jake Gardner in him. Helps when you have a defenseman above him who is just steady as a rock since game 1. So he's going to have time to develop. And once again, this is why playing 7 defensemen helps, because you can spread the minutes out between him, Murphy, and Crevier, and everyone plays a decent amount, and then Renzel gets the big chunk of the 20 minutes. But I'm not worried about him. I think Levshunov's played better than I expected after. Like, the first week sucked. Up till the Montreal game, he was not good. I feel like the pressure was eating at him.
Yeah.
He was fighting it, I feel like, a lot of the time. But now he's letting the game come to him, and I think like the rest of the team, he had a great second week. So I'm very excited to see what he does against teams like Tampa and LA who are going to test him. So should be interesting. Also, not a fan of scratching him in the home opener. Wasn't a fan of that at the time. Thought that was stupid, and you could have just ran 7D. But no, we decided to watch Sam Lafferty take 4 penalties instead. So that's fine.
Not great optics. Not great. Yeah. And also, guess what? He doesn't turn 20 for another week. So
he's a teenager.
Yeah. And he's been in 5 different leagues in like the past 3 or 4 years.
His development curve is there's not a lot of players that have done that. Just in general.
Very unique.
Jump that many leagues so quickly. So that's why I want to give the kid patience. Like, I feel like this is a kid we're going to look at when he's 21 and we're just going to be like, holy shit. Like, this is just, we had a top 4 defenseman fall into our lap. And there will be people that complain about that because, Davidoff could be that elusive top 6 forward we talk about, but if ifs and buts for candy and nuts.
It's not like Davidoff has gone off to a crazy start either for the
5
supposed
points in
Calder
7 games.
favorite.
And
okay, that's
he's been
okay,
all right.
but it's not like he's point per game. Anyways,
well, no, I think the biggest thing to get off credit with is he's playing with Kapanen and like Newhook, and he's driving that line. So I'll give him credit there.
Never mind. I was trying to have an agenda, but I guess not.
Oh, you didn't let me finish, but it doesn't matter because he's not winning the Calder this year, so it's okay.
Why is it
the guy who's winning the Calder is something that none of us predicted. It's probably freaking Schaefer because he's unbelievable.
He just turned 18 too.
Dude, he had 1 game on the third pair, and Patrick Waugh was like, "Yep, you're playing 26 a night going forward. Have fun."
Oh, so you're not Anthony D'Angelo, yeah.
Wait, you're not Alex Romanoff? You can actually move the puck? Oh, God, get him up. Which, by the way, beating the Sharks 4-2 right now, and Matthew Schaefer has his 2nd career NHL goal. So,
well, you know what? Good for the Sharks. Streak? Oh, he's on the Islanders.
Michael Misa first point too. That's exciting. Oh, it's Misa versus Schaefer. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, they finally played him, huh?
Yeah. Don't even get me started on the Sharks. Have fun with your sophomore slump season, buds. Should be fun. We'll see how much whimsy they have when they lose 20 straight and celebrating. Looks like he wants to kill himself every interview. But to each their own. Maybe the Book of Mormon trip fixed them.
Ryan Reeves.
I'm sorry. This start to the season could not have been better for the Blackhawks. I'm sorry. The Sharks are I'm sorry, Sharks fans, but I'm sick of it. Like, we're not going to pretend like we're not on the same page in this in terms of the rebuild, and y'all are a step ahead. Like, the back end is a total tire fire, and the goaltending for that matter.
Yeah, bro, do not compare my man to Spencer Knight.
Do not ever compare Spencer Knight to a Scarab ever again. Holy shit. Spencer Knight knows how to stay in his net. Holy
I'm
smokes.
sorry, your first defensive pairing is Nick Leddy and John Clay.
2017 called, and they're so excited for you to pick up the phone. Oh, my goodness. And you have Ryan Reeves? Oh, man.
Oh, my God. It's very much a thing because we're very online, and I feel it's such a it's the echo chamber of people saying, oh, the Sharks have great vibes and the Blackhawks have none, and the Sharks have done a better job. Like, the Sharks have some crazy good PR. I have nothing against the Sharks. I like how Mike Grier has built the Sharks. I think the Sharks and Blackhawks are going to compete for years, but it's like whenever you look at a big artist, and it's like, I don't mind the artist. Your fans are fucking annoying, though. That's what I think of the Sharks.
Yeah, I got nothing against the Sharks. I just think, they have 3 players, and people were saying that, they're going to take real steps this year. Never saw that. Never saw that. But, top line Khrushchev has done crazier things in the past.
Hey, is the step not winning a game? Because, hey, I mean, they've taken a step in that aspect. Let's not win any games. Let's win less games than we did last year. Yeah.
Listen, unfortunately, this is going to work out great for the Sharks. They're going to get Keaton Bearhoff, and that's exactly what they need on that back end.
What they need.
So it's going to work out for them in the end. And they have a plethora of talent. Like the second they call Quentin Musty, I'm watching the Sharks because I'm so curious how that player is going to be. Like he could be their Timo Meyer, their new Timo Meyer,
Yeah,
um, which would be interesting. But Sharks fans, I just hope Celebrity doesn't have too bad of a slump because I think he's got 1 goal in 6 games so far and he's fighting it on the ice. Like the eye test is matching the analytics are matching the eye test, as they say. So I'm hoping things turn around, but can't relate to what 16 straight loses like. So I don't know how that feels in the locker room. Literally, the last time they won a game, Mitch Marner was on the Leafs and on the ice.
That's right, man.
Which, by the way, Leafs are losing again. Cannot wait for that dangle pod. Get excited.
Yeah, they record tomorrow. It was so funny listening to that podcast on Money because they were talking about the Jays, and Jesse was like, "You know what, Steve? It's gonna piss you off so much, but the Jays remind me of the Panthers because they play for each other and love each other so much, and the Maple Leafs do not." And Steve was like, "I hate how right you are about that." So
yeah, who would have ever known taking a 100-point player off the team would completely change the dynamic of how your offense is produced? Not great. Not great.
I love Scott Wheeler because I hate being a Bedard truther because, yeah, it's easy to be a Bedard truther, but he's never been like, oh, but Connor Bedard is a bust. He's not going to be able to figure it out. So he tweeted, Connor Bedard has played much better than Macklin Celebrini to start the year. Someone replied, why the fuck did you tweet this as a Sharks fan? And Macklin is a point per game at the moment. How is it that bad? And also this was a couple days ago. This was on Sunday. Scott Wheeler then replies, -2, 6 shots on goal in 5 games. Team worst 23.4 expected goals for percentage.
Oh.
Shots are 50-19 for the opposition at 5-on-5 with him out there. It's okay to say that he hasn't been good. People, myself included, were talking about Olympics a couple weeks ago. Team Canada's meeting. It's topical. So yeah, Connor Bedard wants to be on Team Canada. Frank Nazar wants to be on Team USA. Like, if you want to make it, you got to have a good start. That's not going to help your case.
Yeah, and I was also going to say, with not to celebrate but to the media, maybe don't crown an 18-year-old rookie as the next Patrice Bergeron. Just to start, that's usually not a good expectation to put on an 18-year-old kid that plays relatively well two-way in his rookie year. Because now, I mean, it's not his fault because he's so good, but he's getting the top assignment every time this year. He's getting the toughest task. He's going up against the toughest defenseman. People know the drill now. This isn't some new toy on the block, as some people would like to say with a rookie. The tape's out there now, so this is about becoming better as a player, adjusting your game, and I definitely think Celebrini can. I mean, he's getting his points when he can. Bedard got his cookies when he could last year, and he was fighting it. That's what great players do. You just hope that the team around him isn't putrid to, help that.
I hope if Nick Leddy and John Klingberg weren't getting big minutes on your team in 2024.
Yeah, not great. And top line Phil Kurashev.
And that's just my whole point is just let the kids play, man. Like, let's stop anointing them. They're gonna be good. Like, just let them play. They're gonna have their ups and downs. They're teenagers still. Well, Connor Bedard's 20, Macklin Celebrini is 19, but they're still so young. Like, just let them be. Let them play. That's what I say.
Yeah. When your president calls that out and asks why isn't your 19? Like, granted, Sam Dickinson should go back to London. Like, this is not the year. Yeah. Don't pull a Korchinski with this kid. Just let him go dominate in junior. Which is probably not what he wants, but I mean, Sam Dickinson, you should go back and put up 85 points as a defenseman and win another Memorial Cup and then come back. Because as of right now, this is not good for your development. Plain and simple. Losing that much, it's not good for morale. It's not, I mean, clearly. You can look at the Blackhawks the last 3 years as living proof of that one. But 16 in a row is a little different. You one goal goes in and you start.
Anything that bad recently?
The only thing I can think of is they lost like 10 straight in like 2018-19, and it was all bad. And with those games, it was like they led in 2 in the first period, and you felt like the game was already over because the
I think
body
it was
language
8 in a
showed it.
row.
Was it? I felt like 10. Fuck.
When it was
just,
Colleton, they just hired. I'm pretty sure it was 8 in a row because I remember it was that night.
I just
where
remember
we
they
were
broke it
talking-
with a 1-0
yeah,
shutout. That's all I remember. And then they started
Yeah.
heating up because they figured out the power play. But
yeah.
Yeah. That's the point is it's a long
Yeah.
losing streak, and I really hope it doesn't fuck up the young players because losing that much causes bad habits to form. And I think that's the thing I was yelling about with the Blackhawks last year is like you don't want them to stink this much because all it does is build bad habits. And we've seen it time and time again with other sports, other players, this sport. You just don't want it. So I hope the Sharks can figure it out soon because the last thing I want to see is so much young talent get wasted because they're just not allowed to play the right way of hockey. And it comes back to what we have been talking about since the predictions episode. You might need to fire the coach to do that because it sounds like Will Smith's getting the Mitch Marner treatment right now in San Jose. So get excited. Because,
hopefully
this
he doesn't
coach doesn't
get
have the
pulled in his
leeway of
room.
Mike Babcock. So,
Well, hopefully his coach didn't pull him into the room and asked him who's the least hard-working player on the team.
I hope he named Tyler Toffoli. I want drama in the bedroom.
Name's Philip Khrushchev.
Might need to have another sleepover to talk things over.
And just that stupid bullshit too. Anyways.
Utter woke nonsense. That is weird to say.
Utter woke nonsense. Who? Okay. I wanted to talk. I don't know how we got into this, but I'm glad we did, though. Let's talk about other NHL teams, though. Do you want to talk about the state of the Blackhawks prospect pool, or do you have any other NHL teams that are kind of on your mind right now that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, there's a couple there on my mind. I think Utah's had an incredible start.
Give me the Blackhawks now.
Oh, dude, Jack Eichel. He's 2 points a game. Like, it's unbelievable. He's 16 points in 7 games. Absolutely dominant.
I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
He's just been like he signed his new deal and has just become the Terminator ever since. It's terrifying. Vegas is the defense and goaltending. Like I think we talked about it last show. Like Pietrangelo is a big loss, so they're gonna have to figure out the back end and figure out how to play structured more. But who gives a crap if you can score 5 a game, which is what they're doing right now with ease, mind you. And that's with a couple players just not starting well. That's just the reality. I think Tampa has been an interesting start. I think Braden Hagel has 1 point in 7 games to start the year. Kucherov's been hurt. Vasilevsky's had a rough go, and they're sheltering Hedman's minutes. So it's an interesting time in Tampa. So that just means they're going to thump the Blackhawks on Thursday. But the Hawks actually played them relatively well the last couple of years, and Bedard kind of owns Hedman. So we'll see. But the Leafs having a rough, turn into the go. They're losing again tonight. The new pieces aren't gelling. It's the same problem. You can listen to Dangle. He's literally hit it on the nose. They're just not fighting for each other, and clearly the goalie's not happy about it. And it's going to matter in this division. Like I don't think Detroit's hot streak is going to be sustainable, but they've started off well. Montreal looks pretty good, which I thought they would be relatively good this year. Florida, they're going to fight it this year, but I think they're going to be.
They're up 2-0.
Yep, there you go. Anton
Marchand got a point in his return to Boston.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's tonight. But another funny one. The Rangers can't score at home. That's a thing. That's crazy.
Yeah,
like Shesterkin's letting up 1 goal a game and you can't win. You guys suck. You guys suck. And apparently that's why the Panarin to the Wild trade rumors have started now, which is just
that's very interesting.
You know what? What the hell? Sure. Like Marco Rossi, get ready to learn the Big Apple, buddy. That's where you'll be heading.
Rossi for okay.
Bro, they're already comparing. If they're going to do the trade, they're comparing it to when Gaborik went to the Wild, and that trade was pretty decent haul for the team that got traded Gaborik at the time. And Panarin's kind of in the same spot, but also if you're the Wild, just sign him in the offseason. So I don't know. A lot of stupid stuff floating around right now. We're getting we're getting a little tidbits towards silly season. midseason. And besides that, I mean, I think Morantonen's had a hot start. McKinnon lights out as usual. McDavid got his first goal of the year today.
Yeah, so did Ike Howe. First NHL goal.
Wow. Oh my god!
And Evan Bouchard finally got a point. Let's go.
Oh wow, he might catch up to Louis Crevier now. That's
He's
so
halfway
crazy.
there.
Halfway there, baby. Oh my goodness. But it's a little early to tell on some of these teams, but you know, Eichel's hot start's been incredible. McKinnon's hot start's been incredible. You know, the Lightning are a little concerning, and you know, from the looks of it, Ottawa can't stop a goal right now, so that'll be interesting as well. I don't think Anaheim's playing a lot better than people are giving them credit for. I've been watching their games this year. They're playing fast. They're playing hard. Kreider's been a really good addition to that team. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Leo Carlson took a step, and he is looking like the player that I thought, you know me. Before we got Bedard, I was already sold on Carlson. Like, I thought he was going to be that upper echelon player, but he's looking like he was going to hit him into a whole new stratosphere. He's well over point a game. He was their best player on Sunday. I think so, at least outside of Dostal.
He's a workhorse.
Yeah, Carlson, he's incredible. And he's not going to get credit because he plays in Anaheim, so no one's going to watch his games. But lights out.
So I kind of just want to go over Vegas. So I'm looking at the points right now. Jack Eichel, 16 points. Mark Stone has 13 points, and apparently he is hurt again. Yes,
Yeah,
even better than 2 points a game, 16 points in 7 games. Mitch Marner, ho-hum, 10 points. Pavel Dorofeyev, I'm pretty sure, has 7 goals. Yeah, and 1 assist. Yeah, they beat Carolina yesterday, and I think Hill got hurt, but Akira Schmid let in only 1 goal and 27 shots. So, yeah, once they figure out their defense and goaltending, goddamn, good luck.
Well, look at Carter Hart. It's the turd on the cake. Also, I just saw someone say that someone said for Panarin, the Red Wings would have to give up Marco Kasper. Red Wings, Ranger fans, I got some news for you. Get ready to learn your new Brennan Othman in the prospect system.
No, but they're gonna get Oliver Moore. They're gonna get Oliver Moore for Brennan Othman.
Oh my god! Like, you would be like he's literally like, well, you know, Othman's friends with Bedard. You know, we could really use the speed on the Rangers. I bet you could. You should have drafted it, but you drafted Gabe Perreault instead. No, so have fun with that. He came to crack the lineup.
If anything, I think it'd be more likely. I tweeted this if Carl Davidson traded, like, I don't know, Nolan Allen for Brendan. I don't know. Ethan Del Mastro, maybe. Noel Al.
I don't even want Hoffman, man. Give me Lafreniere.
Fuck it, yeah.
Give me Lafreniere. I'm so serious. Like, he signed for like $7 million for the next 5 years. Like, if he's a 50-point player, bro, we could take that. And I would love to see Lafreniere with Bedard. Oh my god, I feel like that would have that size on his wing, on his left wing, and you put Frondell on the right. Have fun. Have fun.
That's the kind of move they need to make.
God, I'm hoping they put Lafreniere on the block. I'd be all over that if I'm Chicago. And the best part is, Pierce, normally when we say that shit, they don't have the assets for that trade. They have the assets for that trade.
I'm sorry, they do.
Officially in the move of they have assets for the shit. So
would you trade would you trade Oliver Moore as a piece for Alexis Lafreniere?
I think it's tough.
Nick Lardis, yeah, because he's
I just like more. I think more you could do so much more with than Lardis. But Lardis, it's like if you're trading Nick Lardis, you need a top 6 forward, like a top 6 forward, and he needs to be ready to rock. Because fuck, dude, it took him a week to figure out the AHL. And that was what everyone was saying. They're like, "Oh, it's a bigger league. We'll see how he performs." Including us. I was like,
1 period, a goal and 3 assists. Not only like has he scored a couple goals, he's passing the puck now.
Yeah, this is a very good spot for the Hawks to be in, and I don't think they really want to trade either of those guys, but um, yeah, I can't wait to see who gets thrown on the block in like 4 months, and we're just like, interesting. And then our division rival will trade for him.
So this is from NHL Rumor Report. Frank Saravelli, read Jason Robertson. I think he's low-key a name that's going to be interesting to watch, but I would imagine there's got to be a way to make a deal there if you're the Dallas Stars.
They're not showing
So
the division.
no. But
Why is it
also,
always
like,
our division that wants to do dumb shit? I don't get it.
but also, like, try and give them an offer. At least try that.
I would. I'd offer sheet Jason Robertson. Force their hand.
Yeah. Force them to make a decision whether that is offering a trade or offer sheeting him. Yeah. Make them think.
Yeah. Kyle Davidson's about to get, and it sounds like he's going to get that extension. We didn't talk about that, but it sounds like there's an extension in the hopper for him, which, with the way the kids are progressing, he probably, just off of it doesn't make sense to go with another GM until you see what his toys turn into. So yeah, you probably want to extend him, but
his leash is long. I don't think he's going to be gone anytime soon. And I just think with how things are going right now, they have full trust in him. Why do you think otherwise?
Oh, no. What I was going to say, see, that's my point, though. They trust him, so now it's time to start making moves.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I'm not saying make moves today. I'm not saying make moves at the deadline.
No.
I mean, obviously, I think you should probably sell at the deadline. But the draft this year should be like your 2022 draft, but opposite. I'm not saying you make dumb moves, but do some stuff to try to put this team over the hump. Like, it could be like what Ottawa did a couple years ago and just pick up Allmark. You know what I mean? Like, get the one thing your team needs. And I feel like every team, like there's always one team every year that kind of makes the smart move and gets what your team desperately needs. Like, I know it hasn't worked for the Leafs, but like they got a goalie. Like that was what they needed for so long. It's just consistency in net, and they got it. New Jersey, perfect example. That's what they needed, and now they have two good goalies. They got to extend Markstrom, obviously, but just get the missing piece. And like, as much as I give them shit, Carolina tried. They tried to get their piece. And they knew what they needed, which was the high-end forward. You're going to know what this team needs by the draft next year. And I think it would be an ill service to the team if you don't try to go get that. And I'm tired of the try. I'm tired of the if. Make it happen. I don't want another offseason of, we almost got number 4. Oh, we almost got Jay Gensel, guys. Why don't you go do it? Just go do it. And like you said, his leash is as long as ever. You can, for a Bears reference, you can go try to trade for your Chase Claypool, and I don't think the management crew is going to bite you in the ass for it. So you have room to make mistakes, and this team is going to allow you to because they're so young. So it's going to be interesting. If Kyle Davidson gets his extension, I would like to see him get a little more aggressive as his team starts to progress.
What have I said the past 3 years on this podcast? What are the money and the draft picks for?
That's what the money's for.
Yeah, this has been the whole point of the rebuild. And I'll say this, I've been impatient. I want this team to make moves because I see how special it is. But now with seeing how, like, what draft pick has Kyle Davidson made where you're just like, no, that hasn't worked out? Like, yeah, we can quibble on whether that was the pick they should have made, but it's not like, oh, this player just fucking sucks and won't amount to anything, and the player that they passed up on is a superstar. Like, worst thing I can think of is Lev Shunov and Demidov, honestly, but I still think you're
I was
getting...
going to say Lewinsky maybe, but...
That fucking sucks that he's going to be out the rest of the year.
He blew his knee out. Yeah, that sucks. Hopefully he has a fast recovery.
I don't know. They picked him at what, 39? I just think that's how drafting works sometimes, where that same draft, you pick Korchinski 7th overall. You're probably thinking more out of him for your 7th overall pick, but Frank Nazar has been great value for 13, and same with Sam Rinzo. I think that's just how drafting works. But you look at all the draft picks he's made, like almost all of them are, and again, they got to come over to the NHL. They got to prove it. But just look at like Roman Kanserov leads the KHL in goals as a 21-year-old.
And he's got an A.
Point per game. He's got an A. He's playing center now. You don't do that you don't just do that in the KHL. You don't.
That's really good. And watch his goals. They're coming from everywhere. He's not a one-trick pony.
Nope. He goes to the front of the net. He can snipe it. Like this is what I said earlier with the Hawks. They're not, at least right now, a lot of their players aren't that big. You got to play with that edge. You got to get to the front of the net. Bedard and Nazar do that, and it looks like Roman Kanserov does that as well.
Anton Brundell definitely does that as well.
Yep. He's a little bigger.
Yeah. Boyver does it as well. In terms of smaller players, like, you look at a guy like Sam Savoy, if he ever gets called up, he'll go to the net. He doesn't care. He's 5'9". It's just gonna be such an interesting thing to watch. We're talking about all these prospects, and there's still guys like Nestrasil in the prospect pool, I think he's just got so much potential with his size. He's having a great freshman year at UMass.
So much, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I just think it. Like you said, there's so many slots. So, granted, it benefits the Hawks because they don't have to rush these kids, but you don't need them all. Figure out which ones you like. That would be my advice in the next 18 months.
You can't keep all of them, that's for sure. And you can't fall in love with, you're gonna have your guys, but you can't fall in love with every single one of them. Unfortunately, this is what the great teams do. They know when to part way with good prospects who might maybe not turn out. I just think Vegas making the Jack Eichel trade, you parted away with Peyton Krebs. They probably thought, everyone overrates their own prospects. At some point, you have to trade them for guaranteed elite talent like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough when Kyle Davidson watches his first crop of guys he's drafted be so good out the chute. So I completely understand if he wants to hold his cards close to the chest, but I think they're in a very interesting spot for the next couple months. If they keep this up, and like we said, that doesn't mean be over 500. That means be competitive every night and not be a team that people go out and drink the night before and then come play and dump 5 goals on and move on. No, it's a team you're going to have to fucking prepare for when you come to Chicago every time. You don't just get to go see the city the night before. So really, I'm excited to see what the season holds now. And who knows? We could be talking in a month and we're right back to square one, which I really hope that's not the case. Knock on wood.
I don't either. And I don't think it will. They're going to have a bad streak of games, and we're going to get on the podcast, and we're going to.
The puck luck's going to go the other way at some point.
Mm-hmm. But
also, they've had a lot of puck luck go their way on top of that. So it's I don't know. My thing is just clean up. This goes for the Blackhawks and the Bears. Just clean up the fucking penalties. Holy crap! Stop taking 5 penalties a game. You're playing with so much fire when you do that. And all it takes is one team that's just feeling out of the power play to light you up when it happens. What was it? There was a Minnesota game in the preseason where that happened, where they played so good 5-5, but they kept taking penalties, and Minnesota just made them pay every time in the power play.
Yeah.
That's how you lose games down the line. So I like to see them clean that stuff up. Just keep playing hard and fight for each other. Like you said, like Jesse said with the Blue Jays, that's what they're doing right now. The Bears are fighting for each other right now with how they're playing week by week, and I would argue the Blackhawks are very much doing the same. I probably see more line balls in 2 weeks than I did in 3 months of the season last year. So I think that matters. And I wanted to make this point earlier because you were talking about the fact that Bedard and Nazar, they're the ones kind of getting in the scrums and whatnot. That's the Florida effect right there. Florida's best players are doing that. Tampa's best players are doing that. Vegas's best players are doing that. And Connor McDavid's doing it in Edmonton. You need to lead from the front. It can't be your fourth liner that's going to put the team over the top in terms of physicality. No. And I'm not after Bedard to get in a fight. You know what I mean? But just doing what he's doing right now, which is being a fucking nuisance. And it's so easy to be a nuisance. Just be a bastard in this league. Like we've seen so many players be able to do it. Like Alex DeBrincat for his size was so good at it. Like
He's
just
a
a
bastard.
5'7" bastard, just beating up Josh Manson after the whistle. Like just
That's right.
beast. Like that's the kind of stuff you need, and I see a lot of that in these young Hawks, which is very exciting. The corner is starting I heard someone say this, like you're turning the corner, but it's a ship. It takes time to turn that corner with a ship. So, but the turn is starting to be had, which is fun.
I feel like really you have to be a not fun team to play against, and I think there's levels to it because I think Florida is just at the top of bastardry or whatever you want to
Years
call
to
it.
get there, though. It took
Yeah.
years. They weren't that 3 years ago.
No.
And then they got swept by Tampa.
Yeah. They learned from Tampa were a bunch of bastards. Every Stanley Cup champion, they're not fun to play against. I don't think of the Blackhawks on that level, but Duncan Keith
They were
could get that
pesky.
red mist, like that clip of him just high sticking Jeff Carter because he pushed his glove away. Like honestly, looking back at that clip, such a reasonable crash shot. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that's just me being biased, but I don't know. I think Jeff Carter flopped a little bit. Like he definitely played that up. Not saying he should have gotten slashed, but like
and that's
Duncan
why he
Keith
owned us
wasn't
in
fun to play
2014.
against. Neither was Nick Jalmerson. Corey Crawford beat the shit out of Robbie Fabry. Do you remember that? And
Yeah,
Taves
2016.
and Hossa weren't fun to play against either. I don't think Patrick Sharp was either. Don't think it's fun going up against Crosby in the corner. Don't think it's fun when Geno Malkin gets the red mist. I don't think it was fun playing the Capitals, having to go to the corner with Ovechkin and Tom Wilson. Don't think it was fun playing against the St. Louis Blues when they beat the Boston Bruins at their own game. You gotta it's prison rules, man. This league does not protect their star players, so you gotta go out there and fight for yourselves. And the Blackhawks are doing that, which I'm very proud for. It's good to see, especially their young players.
I just think there's a scene in The Walking Dead where Rick's yelling at a bunch of people, and he's like, "If you don't fight, you die." And that's literally what the NHL is turned into. Like, if you're gonna roll over and put your tail in between your legs, you're not going anywhere in this league anymore. There was a time where you probably could have. That time has passed. The league has become more physical than I feel like it has been in the last 5 years, 5 to 7 years. Easily.
Dude, I would say we're back at like late 80s, early 90s level of hockey, where you got all these superstars, but you can get away with bloody murder.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Just kill people on the ice. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Brad Marchand can just tackle Rasmus Dahlin after he kills his goalie.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyways, Nick Laris leads the AHL in points with 8 points in 5 games, and Oliver Moore, not far behind him, has 6 points in 5 games. I kind of just wanted to keep going with that. Eric Vanacker has 10 goals in 8 games with the Brantford Bulldogs.
First year he's been healthy in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Nestrasel has 5 goals in 5 games at college. So far, so good. Bro. Yeah. More like a UMass of year. And Anton Friedel has 7 goals in 12 games, 9 points.
And Mason West has like 20 touchdowns. Get excited.
Yeah! Every Blackhawks prospect.
Had a nice goal last week on the backhand. Shit was dirty.
And that's literally just every Blackhawks prospect breakdown. This guy is gold per game this league. This guy leads this league in goals. Oh yeah, Mason West threw 5 touchdowns. Yeah. Well, that's all I got, honestly. Do you have anything else? Wrap this up.
Week predictions. Lightning Kings. What are we thinking?
I think they beat the Lightning. I think they lose to the Kings, though.
Yeah, I'm feeling a split this week. I'm feeling 1-1. I hope they beat the Lightning. My sister's going to the game, so
hell yeah, fun. Maybe she's a good luck charm.
She was last time. It was her and her boyfriend. That was who I was with. Bedard went freaking nuts. But they played like for a decade plus. They stuck in Tampa, and ever since they got Bedard, they haven't lost since they've gone to Tampa. So maybe it's changing of the guard. Maybe it's just the fact that the Lightning sleep on them and play their backup against them all the time. But I mean, you play who's on the schedule. So also games on ESPN Plus, so it's probably like Butcher Cross on the call or Steve Levy. I'm gonna throw up. Exactly,
Bro, just put the fries in the bag, bro. Just give me a Bob Wischusen for real.
You know, if it's Bob Wischusen or like Mike Monaco, I'm game. But I don't want the other. I don't. Sean McDonough, Ray Ferraro, and mute. Oh man. But yeah, the Kings they just played like Kings are such a shit show. I don't think we're gonna win that.
No, even though they're not off to a great start. Well, either Tampa and LA are off to a great start, but they don't play well against LA. Like I have more faith in them beating Tampa than I do with LA. So I will go 1-1, just as you, I think.
Yeah, we'll see how the Hawks start in Tampa. They'll be coming off 3 days rest. So
yeah, they've been playing a lot of games. They've been going, and now they don't play many games this week.
I know, and they play I think like Ottawa and Edmonton and like Winnipeg coming up. So interesting next 5 for sure. And I think once again there's a chance where you can win 3 of those 5, maybe 2 of those 5, and I think that's exactly where you want to be.
Wins count all the same, man. I don't believe you can win a season win a season in the beginning part of it, but I think you can definitely lose a season. So like pile up the wins.
Oh,
man.
you can. The Hawks have lost October and the season many times.
Yeah. All right. Got any final statements, or we can close this up, wrap this up?
Blue Crab for the Vez, Y-Kais for the Vez.
Hell yeah.
The Nor.
Alvlas.
For the Nor. Honestly, just give the Blackhawks every award.
Yeah.
No, but for real, Cousins are fucking Jomerson. It's awesome.
Louis Crevier, Lady Bing, even though he leads the NHL in penalty minutes. They're going to rename it to the Louis Bing.
The Lou Bing Ward.
Lou Bing. Oh my god. We have fun on the podcast. We have fun. So thank you for tuning in.
The Lou Bing.
Thank you for tuning in. Give us a 5-star rating on your preferred podcast platform. If you're watching our beautiful faces on YouTube, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. So, yeah, for Pierce and Dylan, take it easy, y'all. We'll talk sometime next week. And let's go Blue Jays! Woo!